How big are these things? Oh, you're kidding. And I've got two. Stop. That is so adorable. Look, custom bookends. They're Zandalari and they don't really fit at all. But I am a troll. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to a brand new stream. Apologies for my stream on Monday. I had some technical difficulties that had I thought a little bit more ahead at the time, I might have been able to avoid them. My stream crashed after I came back from like a break. As soon as I came back, I switched scenes in OBS and it just immediately, my whole PC just froze. Started my stream back up, or tried to start my PC back up, and it froze again just trying to open all of my applications. So I thought, this sounds like a software update, driver update situation that I should probably fix. And given the time and other stuff I had to do, I thought maybe I would just not risk crashing another stream and come back when hopefully everything is fixed. So touch wood, we are all okay. How are we doing today? I am going to be brave and make a start on some housing today, which makes me nervous because I've not even started, but that's okay. We're gonna figure it out together. And I think the vibe is cottage core. I feel like that's pretty tame. I think it's pretty achievable. And I'm hoping that with the types of decor that we have, we should have a good amount of options available. And I mentioned in the stream on Monday that I think I'm going to use the Alliance neighborhood house for stream content, and then probably use the Horde one for any YouTube stuff. So speaking of which, I'm actually currently in the Horde neighborhood. I think I'm just going to hearth straight to the other one. Another thing that I should probably do is figure out the types of decor that we're going to need, because I'm pretty sure, although I have a good selection of stuff, I have basically one of each thing. Yeah, so depending on what it is that we want to use, I might need to take a few trips to see some vendors. Hopefully there's nothing too difficult to get if there's something we would really like to use. Should also consider, I don't think I have any dyes. Do I? Oh, I do. No, 0. Okay. My shaman has some dyes, so I could go over to her. But for starters, this is the plot. I believe it's 38. Oh, 53. It's 38 in the Horde neighborhood. I just did this while I was playing around off camera, trying to get familiar with controls and how things look and how they work and everything. And it's not final by any means, but I've placed some fences. I've placed a little orchard. There's a mill in the background and a little, what was the water fountain? I guess you would. And just a ton of plants, essentially. And because it's very cottage core on the outside, I think we could probably quite easily replicate that on the inside. try to keep things as kind of in theme as possible. Starting with the entryway, which I think I'm just gonna clear and start again because, again, I was just putting stuff down for the sake of having them. And this is not really giving cottage core, so I'm going to just delete everything and start again, I think. So, I'd also like to start small, I think. And I considered, I have Canva on my second monitor, like ready and waiting to potentially build a floor plan that I can set in stone first so that I don't start working on something and then need to undo it to fix a floor plan issue. But for now, I mean, it's empty right now because I haven't actually touched it. I'm too nervous. I'm thinking entryway into a kitchen area. And kitchen is kind of as far as I've got so far. I don't know whether to use a square room and then add something onto the side or use this cross-shaped room. It's either going to be the cross shape like this, although it feels very kind of cut in right a bit. I guess we just need some wind. To be fair, what we can do first is figure out what the ceilings and walls and floors give the most cottagecore vibe. I mean, folk is good. We probably don't want it terribly dark. I don't think Belameth is going to work for this rugged medium. Okay, so it's going to be folk, at least on the ceiling. Yeah, I think that works. And then probably to match, we may as well do folk on the walls too. Or rugged could potentially work, but the tone of the wood is different, which is really going to bug me. Let's just keep it at folk. And then maybe there's a different wall texture we could use. We could use some stone, but it's very, very dark. What about... We can't have this ceiling because it's cross shape, I think. Well, previous me already put some stone by the front door, which actually is a nice and some cottage wall material. That. We can make this one rugged stone, I think. Maybe the whole room can be rugged stone. Oh, that's not what I meant. We reckon the ceiling could be different? Doesn't make much sense. I would love to be able to customize the front door. But I think for now, the front door is the front door. You can actually move it. I didn't know that. Size it up and down? Surely not. Oh my goodness, you can. That's actually good to know. Maybe it would be good to have it like off to one side. I'm probably going to use a wealth of platforms, columns, and walls to create my own rooms. Because I'm already wondering, could something go in this space so it's not empty? Or is that going to be way too cramped? This could be like a storage room, right? Like a storage area. Just need to remember to drink my tea today because I don't have enough plug sockets for my mug warmer, so it's going to go cold. Doesn't really make sense to have two archways. One's going to have to be a wall. How are these meant to interact? I guess this is meant to connect almost like that. I guess that looks better. I don't want to have tons of seams. Okay, so we can put like random storage clutter items in this little space. Could maybe even add platforms as if you almost step up into the house. But that's going to take some doing, and then you have to commit to platforms for like the whole room, potentially. Let's see. I'm also considering if we do a step up, they should probably all be the same height because the amount of time it will take us to customize them all to the specific height. What is that? Oh, it's the little grabby thing for moving stuff around. The little square. Hmm. Looks bad when it's that high though. I was considering it being like that. That's okay. We'll leave the step for now. And then I just pictured this being a kitchen space. But again, I'd like to segment it off a little bit. I think I was going to do one whole side as sort of a pantry. Don't know if we want it to go here or behind the beam, potentially. I feel like on the beam would look a bit better. Sunken back slightly. I have two ideas, and I don't know whether to execute them both or choose one. So it would be nice to have a pantry area. But then I'm also thinking it would be really cute to have a greenhouse type space attached to the kitchen. We can try and make a fake outdoor space by blocking off one of these segments. But I don't know whether that will make this actual room feel really skinny. I think it would be okay. Maybe we do another archway, or do we want an actual door? Can place an archway. If we put it there, it gives space to put walls in between. I knew this would happen. Why do they do that? That's really annoying. Oh, it does actually fit. That's... Are you kidding? I can see a tiny gap in there, and I don't know whether to fix it with a column. I mean, it's probably fine to fix it with a column. I'm gonna get so picky with this, just so you're all aware. You can't size them up or down either. That's frustrating. That at least blocks the gap. And it's not massively noticeable. That probably works for now. Definitely going to have to buy more walls and doorways. I think I just used my last one of these, actually. No. I can use this. Oh, this is the same. Now, I have a query. So tall. Am I using the wrong one? Sturdy interior, narrow wall. I'm using the right width, but I'm conscious about the height. Let me quickly add a room upstairs, because I want to see if this clips through the house. I don't think it does. Okay, it doesn't. That's useful. So we can, at least with the structural pieces, clip them into the ceilings and they won't appear upstairs. I don't know how that works for other decor pieces. Certainly don't want this many rooms right now, so I'm just gonna get rid of these. So we can grab Stormwind into a wall. I prefer to use the snapping to grid for pieces like this, the structural pieces, because they will naturally lock to one another and then switch the snapping off just to do things like this, like fitting a column in exactly where I need it. Of course, just maneuvering it to fit what I need, which is more or less like that, although it does jut out a little bit. We want it to feel a little bit cramped because that's kind of a cottage vibe, right? So if this is a pantry and this is a greenhouse, in fact, maybe I'd even swap this wall out and make it more like a window. Which would involve another archway, which I think I've run out of, unless we could use stone. size. Oh, you can't size them up. Can you? No. Could have swore you could size these things up. Or can't be scaled. Interesting. Maybe I can just use... Maybe I can size up windows. Oops, I just went into travel form. Turn it this way. No, those aren't transparent. It might be only the blue-ish windows that are transparent, which could work too. Actually, this would be quite cute. Nope. This one, I'm pretty sure, can be used. Yeah. So as long as I have like a different texture, like a different thing to mimic this wall, we can create a window instead. So I'm thinking if this is going to be almost like a greenhouse space, it would be cute to have light kind of flooding in, right? And able to see greenhouse from inside. Is this one sized up? 150. We connect the two, probably. We can fix the clipping a bit later. So now I'm wondering, maybe if we could... What am I trying to do? Use the wood on the bottom half and brick up top? Probably. Also, it's a little bit high, actually. Uh-oh. You see how picky I am? Like, look at that tiny clip that's happening. Me saying we can fix the clipping later. There is a small gap, which we can fix by putting a pillar. Question is, do we flip it? That doesn't look too bad. Honestly, still tall. Like, this is a troll. Pretty tall race, I would say. And it doesn't really feel like she can look out that window. And we can sink it lower. Hope I don't lose this this wall piece in the making. Okay. That's more like it, I think. I mean, the windows are huge, which is probably why it feels a little bit off. Then we can... I think I'm out, aren't I? Wargrimmar interior wall. Plain interior. This is narrow, though. Although, maybe I could just flip it on its side. I only need it to fill that small gap at the top. Rotate these? Yeah, you can. Go with. I rotate it, what, 270? Can't scale it down, but that's okay. Gosh, this is tricky to get right. Wood color is different. That's the beam is gonna really aggravate me, but we can probably hide that. That's definitely the start of a fake outdoor space. I'm not mad about that. Still figuring out how on earth we're gonna make... What's the actual door going to be? I don't think I want a physical door. The options are limited and they aren't really the vibe we're going for. I also don't want to use a bookcase. But I probably have quite a few curtains. It's just about if that would work. Not sure that it would, honestly. What could we do? Maybe we could make a fake door. Because it would be cute to have a door that's fake because you can have it ajar. And I think it would look nice to have the door a little bit open all the time. It means you can't go out there, but it's an illusion anyway. It's not actually outdoor space, so that does kind of work. I was looking at the trellis. Is that what they call it? Maybe we could use something like this. Sized up. It's the wrong color, but probably customize it if I got my hands on dye. going to have every shade of brown except the exact one that we need. That's okay. I'm not too worried about the colors right now. We can work on that later. But I'm curious about sizing it up. This actual door won't work because it's a bit too elaborate. You can get this without the basket on it. To be fair, that would look really good in the actual greenhouse. I just don't have one right now, don't think. Is there anything else? I have no idea what most of these things are. I've unlocked so many things, but I actually couldn't tell you what a lot of them are. I'm actually also going to just, when I find things that are going to work in another room, I'm going to just throw them in there and deal with them later. Because I just found spice rack thing. I think there was another one. Do I challenge myself to make the actual greenhouse now? I feel like that would be quite a fun challenge to have. First of all, we need to cover the walls because we don't want it to look like it actually is indoors when it is. So we're going to need a ton of these rugs. Or we can try and use a big one, but I only have one of those. Yeah, they need to be plain. Although we could use the back. What would rugs be listed under? Accents, floor. How is this turned on its back? That's the same on both sides. That's frustrating. I think we're going to have to use the generic one that everyone uses to make fake skyboxes. Because this turned this way at least, with the planar side, can then be... Let's maybe size it all the way up. Might not have to use quite so many in that case. Imagining there's like a nice sky blue color, hopefully. Might be the closest we get. Or we just try and go for like really light color. They're very muted colors, I'm finding. Although that one's not too bad. Because there's light shining off the window, it kind of distorts the color of it. Island birch dye. We've got the idea for now, at least. And then I think I have, what are the items that create sunlight? I have this thing. People use this for sunlight. Now, I might need multiple, and I feel like this... I don't remember if this is difficult to get or if it just comes from a vendor. Or doing this in first pass would be really good, but actually it's proving quite difficult. Where would we want the sun coming in? Definitely on an angle. I guess maybe from the top right corner where you can't see it too much when you walk in. Wait, where are the controls to move it around? Oh, right there. They're so bright I can't see them. What's my keybind for moving things up? Keybinds. Uh, Housing. Move up. Page up. That makes sense, doesn't it? I probably set that myself. Um, then I'm thinking of flipping it slightly. Damn, this light is so bright, it's making it rather difficult. I think we're just going to make it as big as possible. I want to hide as much of the bowl as possible without affecting the actual light effect that comes off it. So it might need to be something like this. And then we just hide the rest of it with a ton of plants. Like that. We also can get more of these if we want it to be brighter. But like I say, the windows themselves do actually cast a light. Okay. So we have the start of a greenhouse with the limited quantities of furniture that I have. I probably have a ton of plants. So we could definitely use these. We've got apple trees. I'm gonna have to size all the way down if they even fit the way size down. Oh, they do. Look how adorable that is. Oh, actually, before I get carried away, let's think about what the outside would actually look like on the ground. Guess, again, we might need more rugs. And then chock full of grass and rocks. Although, yeah, I just use rocks and then Won't see too much of the wood, but the brown will look like mud. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Size up. I think I bought a ton of rock decor items. Not sure why I did that, but I just thought I'm definitely going to need them. They can connect a little bit. I'm not too worried about that. Just not bleed them into the kitchen too much. Smaller ones. How does this alt thing work? Duplicate with alt. Oh, you just press alt while you're scrolled over it. That's so interesting. Size one a little bit. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I don't know why I always click R to exit, which just straight up deletes the item that you're holding. Just thinking of moving this so that it's... Do that. It's trying to make some rocks slightly lower than others. It will look a little bit too uniform, I think, if they're all the same height. But we can just stack more on top of each other instead. You want different colors? I don't think I do. Oh no, I just got the sun. Did it again. Okay. And then I want to just cover up the look of the wood. And I'm considering potentially using platform piece. Would be this one, wouldn't it? Hoping I can sink this down, potentially. Just about. That helps. Then we just need like one or two more. What do they call it? Stone or rock? Stone. One there. One here. One in the corner for good measure. I don't want to be super cautious of my decor budget right now because I am not even on 100 and I've got 2050. But some items do cost more than others to place in the first place. It's not like it's one for one. And I'd hate to get super into decorating down the line and then realize I'm completely out. That would be such a bummer. These are all costing 1. Even the big clusters are costing 1, which is useful. There are so many rocks in here. Well, if we run out of budget, we know where to come to start deleting things. This is a good start. It's nice and uneven. It feels natural. Now, how would we make this feel like a greenhouse? Do we want the back wall to almost look like it's glass somehow? I have an idea, but I don't know if I have the decor pieces to work with. There's something Dranic of some kind. This Shadow Moon greenhouse. I mean, it's literally a greenhouse. It's enormous, so I might struggle. How would this work? I mean, first of all, how small does it go? I have a feeling it's not going to be small enough to fit inside. Oh, it gets tiny. Then maybe it can be used. What about this? Do we? I have a feeling we're going to have to make our own greenhouse if we want it. So if I rotate it 180 and push it up against the wall and enlarge it, what happens then? Second thoughts. What about turning it all the way back around? I can. This camera angle is so difficult. How did I rotate? There we go. Same as the keybind I have in The Sims. Set it back to 0. Bring it forward. Nope. Probably going to have to scale it up even more. I don't think this is going to work. I was wondering if I could make it look glass, but without any issues with clipping or changing the shape of this room. I think we're going to have to figure out our own way of making it look like glass. I type glass, what comes out? A bottle. That's no good. I don't think the windows are going to work. Unless they are. Windows have to go on walls, do they? Like, pull it out? Around. I reckon these could be obnoxiously large windows. I don't see why not. But then the sun would need to go even further into the wall. Not a bad idea, though. Really have to connect them to avoid any gaps. And I have a dreadful feeling that one more is going to be just slightly too small. And we're going to have to wrap a gap, but that's more. Not too bad. Can definitely cover it up without too much of an issue. The clipping in this room I'm not too worried about because it's so small and it's going to be so full of clutter. Don't think it will. I might do myself a favor here, and you guys actually. Let me unequip my weapons. Come back on, not sell them. Okay, so a pillar in this corner would easily cover this seam. And we just need something. Oh, I need one in this corner as well. Then we just need more rugs and to figure out the placement of this sun. Because if we want the illusion that this is looking out to the outside, we kind of need to pull the windows in. I'm just cautious of it getting too small in here. Right? I don't know. But we have an idea and it's coming together quicker than I thought it would, honestly. The science. What happens if it goes all the way in the wall like I can't even see the axes. This is so difficult. Bear with me, guys. I'm on to something, I swear. Ah, it's clipping. That's so annoying. Let's lower it. Oh my goodness, look. That's so cute. What I want to do now. I'm trying to let's change the angle a bit. I hope I can access this item still. I think I have that add-on that lets you do that. I don't love that sharp corner. But now there's... Oh, this is so tricky. I think it's gonna cause a sharp line because this isn't what it's meant to be. And also, aren't we in literally a couple of weeks with Midnight gonna get in exterior indoor rooms anyway? I could potentially rip this whole thing down. Yeah, okay, so rotating it doesn't change where that harsh line is. This kind of works. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I pressed escape. Although now I'm stuck. Oh, that's the best we've done it so far. Kind of. Let's do... Maybe we just cover the windows in plants or something and that will help hide that issue of the line clipping. But that's a pretty good start. There's some light coming into the room. That's kind of the best possible outcome. In terms of what's going on above, I'm a little bit curious about maybe using these Silver Moon mosaic platforms, because I'd quite like this room to be a shorter ceiling. So if we raise this up here, it's going to look a little bit strange just because we've got wood and stone kind of going together. And also the sun makes this look so incredibly bright. Guessing it's the same on the other side, is it? These. It is. Okay. This doesn't work then. I'll try. No, it looks like heaven above us, so let's maybe just use wood. I guess there's lots of wood in a greenhouse, right? Let's use... Can't customize the color of platforms from what I'm seeing. This decor has no available customizations. Well, that should be fine because this wood texture more or less fits the color that we need. Let's go up to the edge. I can't get past this sun. At least it counts as a physical object, even though it's just a ray of light, because it means I can still click on it, but I can't get past it. Let's lift you up. Can I make it huge? Save on the budget a little bit. I think it looks kind of more cozy when the ceiling is shorter. No, I'm gonna lower the scale just because I'm gonna have to use two anyway. I don't want them to look incongruent. I will say the controls are a little bit janky and hard to do when you're at an angle like this, but I don't really have any other options. It's fine, it's usable, and keybinds are gonna be very helpful. The way nothing just like lines up is killing me off. Look at that. That is a huge seam from this side. I guess what we can do then is bring this one further down so that the seam is on the other side. That looks better. Can't really see the mistake. And then a platform, which is probably going to have to go here. I don't think I can size this up. Oh, I can. That's good. Let's pull it this way and up. Let's make it slightly bigger. That does cover it up, actually. Oh, I knew it was going to clip. Wait, we can fix that. Goodbye. Like it never happened. I almost had a freak out. Okay. So let me make a note. What we need more rugs. The basic rug. Let me just spreadsheet. um Basic round rug. I'm not actually sure. I can't remember what the actual name of that item is. We need more walls, more platforms, more windows. I mean, that's literally all I've done so far. So you walk in. Oh, that looks cute. You walk in. I mean, it's dark right now. There's literally no lights, but colors of the wood is really going to bother me. It's fine. Comes later. You walk in and you can immediately see into the outside. And then I was going to put some kitchen counters and such here. This room's even bigger than I was expecting. Kitchen counters can go here and probably continue. Probably put an island. That one might be cute. And I'm wondering, maybe we could even put, like, block this area off, but what would I put there? I also don't think I want this area to feel too narrow. I think if we put a wall here, I think it would make this walkway feel super long, and we wouldn't really be able to put anything in it. Could have like a dining table situation here. Or a little bit curious by a potential rounded platform. But what that would create, I'm not sure yet. Big can I make? Getting in. It actually kind of tucks very neatly into this corner. I'm not mad at that. But I still don't know what that's going to be. Also don't love the exposed panels. Hmm. Ooh, this would be really nice for something. I'm getting so distracted. um, we can come back to this corner because it's a little bit empty and cold right now. We have a pantry in the works, which I am thinking. I wonder if a banner and or a curtain would work in this particular doorway. But the curtain options I have are ugly. No, this could work. I'm thinking, first of all, size it down. That is enormous. And I don't necessarily need it to cover the whole doorway. Even be a tiny bit smaller. Maybe? I don't like that you can see to it. That tiny gap. Sizing it up slightly does make sense. It's also so cute that they gave the curtains actual physics. They're quite dramatic, but they literally hang, and if you walk into them, they move with you. Oh, the clipping into the door frame is gonna piss me off, so let's try and fix that, shall we? Maybe I can't, because I also want it to be big enough. Yeah, I have a feeling I can't fix that. Unless it goes to the door? What does that look like? It does look a bit strange. I mean, it doesn't clip. In that case, I might want to raise it even higher because those folded panels at the top look a little bit strange to me. No. Maybe that? At that point, it's like barely even a door, but it at least gives you something. Does it look fine from this side too? I can't decide. Maybe we'll just leave it like this for now. I've made it clip slightly again because I made it bigger. But I'd like there to be something. Let's change the color of the actual curtain. Third one. Gosh, I've been so busy farming herbs and making dyes, and I've been selling them all. I think I've kept a couple, but I don't have any on this character right now. We can come back to that. I think we could make quite good progress on the actual greenhouse. I'm just stuck on the door. But we would probably make the door last because I think by putting a fake door here, we actually won't be able to get out there. So we're going to do all this work and we won't even be able to properly see it. which is fine. I'm prepared for that. I do have a ton of plant things, though, I'm pretty sure. Nature. Oh, yeah. We're in stonks. Uh, However, we don't have a huge amount of space. We're at 102 of our budget. I'm thinking we can use probably this nice trellis. Maybe I'd even put this. I want to cover this wall up, I think. Could this be a door? It actually kind of could. Although it doesn't give us the door open ajar option, and also it's slightly too big to function, potentially, for what we need. Yeah, it's gonna... I mean, it's lovely. Maybe it could be sized all the way down and just used for the grapes. In fact, you're coming with me. This can go in a pantry. If we hid this in some counters, this just looks like a big... I would say a bushel of grapes. There's like a vine. Imagine there's a counter. You just lower it down. Ta-da, there's like a ton of vegetation. So maybe this belongs in here instead. I will come back to that. Okay, plants. What does one put in a greenhouse? Pots. Pot? Vase? Oh, I have a riverbend jar. That's really nice. Oh no. The sun is really going to get in my way. I might have to remove it and add it at the end. But I'm going to size it up as big as it will go. And then... do we want like a tiny apple tree in it? Or do we want to put actual flowers in it? It's a greenhouse, so the idea is that you're growing things in it to harvest them. Rather than just having like flowers. I'm going to try it shrinking an apple tree down. It looks kind of stupid, but listen, this is World of Warcraft. We can do what we want. And also it is going to clip out of the window if we're not careful. Maybe the clipping's fine. Oh my goodness, look. Do you notice that it's clipping? Not really. I mean, if you look super closely, you will. That doesn't even look that bad to me, in my opinion. I think that's fine. I don't really have other things that function as something you would harvest. Unless we just use bushes as if they're growing something. Don't want too much obvious clipping. And With this being plants on the outside, we need to be careful not to clip them into the kitchen. I'm gonna do all this work and then realize I've clipped a ton of vegetation into our house. Little weeds. Fact. You won't be able to see a lot of this stuff from the indoors. There's blueberry bush. Look how big they are. That's obnoxious. Maybe we can hide them in this bush, and then it looks like the big verdant bush is the one that's producing the blueberries. That doesn't look too bad. They're ginormous. Like, they're actually memeably large. Maybe we use multiple and just stack them. Have some coming out of the top. Or they can all be different sizes. I'm happy for the outdoors to be pretty, like, chaotic in terms of sizes, positionings, angles, kind of the point, right? Maybe one more? Slightly irritating thing is that gap in the middle. I wonder if I size this one all the way down or much smaller. Uh-oh. We make this tiny and face them this way towards us. That fills that gap a little bit. That looks kind of nice. It's again a little bit chaotic. Maybe that's what we want. Ooh, this ivy has berries in it. I'm gonna add one more just because I see another gap that's annoying me. Does this look okay? Yeah, look at that. I mean, there's blueberries absolutely everywhere, but that's fine. Honestly, them being different sizes is a little bit strange now that I look at it, but that's fine. Maybe we could even put them in a basket. We size this up, drag it forward slightly. It's gonna clip. Okay. We're okay for now. Ah, should we try and cover the clipping out of the box? Thinking with something like this. Two of them. That's cute. So there's apples and blueberries. Then we saw this cactus just has, I mean, that definitely has fruit. No, I think they're blooming flowers. That does not really fit with the vibe of this greenhouse. The creeping ivy, yeah, this one has berries on it. The polygon count I could do on one hand, but that's okay. Let's size it down. I think these are probably going to go everywhere. I'm even considering running them across the ceiling. Try that first. Oh, please. Fact. Let's, in that case, size them fairly high. I think that will work, but I have a idea to make our lives easier. I'm thinking of just using kind of a more blanket bush, like the low-lying leaves that we used, to more easily cover the ceiling. Does mean we're going to have to take multiples of these, flip them. Right? Raise them all the way up. I think some clipping's gonna have to be okay. Sizing. So does this work? Looks stupid. I'm not sure this. No, it's not bad. I think we just need to finesse it a little bit. What is this one? I think it's okay. We just need multiple. Maybe first person is. Tell you what, maybe it would be cool. Start at the back end and work forward. Maybe this will work. What is happening to my poor Ivy? Down. I kind of wish these had physics because it would be so cute for them to be hanging, but I think it would look a bit strange. Flipping the right axis. 60. all the way up, get along, probably this one. Flip it around, Wicked Witch. Oh my goodness. A little bit higgledy-piggledy. Act 2. How many more of these do I have? Oh, loads. Zero. A really useful tip that I have found helpful for building for myself is key binding all of those little customize options, because doing it with a mouse, especially at certain angles, can be really tricky. And you can even switch between the different rotational axes with a keybind. It's not keybound by default, but you can assign it one, and then it will highlight the axis that you are currently working on, which I found quite beneficial. And the same for scaling things up and down, rotating things and stuff and such. Yep. Still haven't clipped into the kitchen, which is pretty impressive. My concern is you can barely see the ivy. My goodness. This is difficult. Okay, you go there. Let's flip it. Elevate. It's just a shame that it's such a kind of small vine. Got any other option? But this, like, yeah. Grab one of. I can't tell which axis is which. There we go. I'm seeing the vision. It's kind of funny how little of it you can see from the indoors, but I think it's working. It kind of, there are parts that aren't necessarily hanging on to anything. A lot of this ivy is kind of just floating, but the make-believe of that is that it's all growing into itself. Oh my goodness, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. Okay, we can use this too. I mean, for starters, I'm going to hang one probably in this corner. No, actually, it can go where I put it originally. Oh, it's actually like exactly what I was looking for, and I didn't even notice. Okay. Maybe we could put one over the window. Maybe that looks bad from the inside. Oh, we clipped. I care more about how it looks from the inside, because I don't think this is going to be playable once we've finished it. Like, I don't think we're even going to be able to go out there, because we're going to have stuff that's in the way. So maybe I should try and furnish it more from this side. This like floating in midair. Oh no, it's not. It is actually coming out of the wall, which is quite cute. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Cute. And then we can duplicate it. This greenhouse is a little bit overrun, but that's okay. She hasn't got time to be gardening. It's becoming increasingly difficult to furnish it, though, I must say. Let's flip it. I don't necessarily need it on a completely correct right angle. Just don't want it clipping. Make this one a bit less obnoxious. The way I've found that there was a bigger ivy and I've instantly just dropped the OG ivy like it's nothing. Okay, I don't want to go too ham. Like, let's get something plantable on the back wall. Saw someone do something really cool the other day. I can't remember what it was. What could we put out here? Some kind of table or countertop. I mean, this is outrageous. Like, I think we need to put this out here. I was kind of hoping to make my own version of something first. Maybe as a placeholder. I mean, that is so adorable. It also works in an actual kitchen, but I have my own vision for a kitchen. This doesn't quite match the vibe. Also, the wood color is wrong, but that's okay. Oh, I think that works really nicely. Okay. If that goes there, I think there's a option for food. Yeah, there is. I mean, I have a plate of apples and bananas, but I feel like it might be a little bit weird that they're on a plate out here. Unless you sink them down so you can't see the plate. Is that possible? Might look a bit. Oof. I mean, it works. I'm actually surprised. I thought it would look weird. I don't want to make them a bit bigger. Although the knife. Can we rotate this in a way that shows the knife? I think they need to. And shoved into the back corner. Yeah, that's gonna work. It's pretty adorable. You can see them from inside as well. Anything else? This looks like blueberries. Just has a ton of other random things on it that I don't care for. There's a wash basin. Maybe that would be a cute addition. It has a towel on the workbench next to it that actually works very well. It goes on the back wall, but then I don't think you'd see it. That looks a bit weird. We'll come back to that. A wine press. I mean, this has a ton of grapes in it, which I bet if you made small and hid somewhere, that would work. Wait, is it small enough? It's not, right? I was thinking if we could hide the grapes in one of these bowls, but it's too big. Hmm. Okay. Tables. We want something kind of rustic. The tables are so low in this game. I don't get it. Or you can get an empty Kaldorei desk. Hmm. Do we want this, or is that too samey? I think it's too samey. Hmm. No, I think we want something that's going to look like a planter box type thing. I have an idea. Just don't know if I've got the means. What's this? No, definitely not. This could work. It's going to have to be clipped, though. Maybe you wouldn't notice. And then, do you have anything that resembles a bowl or a bucket? I only have one really tall vase, which isn't going to work. What's another word for a vase? A pot? Nope. Got a potion. Guess we could throw this out here. Why not? And another one. I don't know if I want a black potion in my garden. That's a little bit strange. Oh, this is fun. I got this from the Druid Order Hall. I'd quite like to use this. It's like a seedling. Not really sure how I can. I mean, I could hide it in a plant pot. Just don't have a plant pot right now. Between accents, ornamental. Ooh, a basket. Let's grab one of those for sure. This could actually go on the ground. In fact, there's fruit over here. I imagine you'd put fruit in a basket once you've picked it. Although I can't actually access the basket now. I can't select it. Bloody sunlight. Found it. Cute. You won't see that at all from the inside. Didn't think about that. In fact, with that in mind, I actually want to bring it inside. I have a feeling it might go better in here. As if you've brought the fruit in from the outside. I have a whole canoe. That's fun. No, I don't have any vases. or anything really resembling a vase. Let me try and look it up. What's it called? WoW Housing Database? WoW Housing Hub. Search for your housing decor item. A pot. Wooden planter pot. That's a good start. This come from? Oh, it's not available. There are some. If I type vase, what comes up? Oh my goodness, to be honest, I didn't even consider how much more furniture we're gonna get very soon. I can get more of those Riverbend jars that I have hidden in the back corner from the High Mountain renown, the quartermaster. Plant pot. Plant pot. We're gonna go High Mountain. Let's make it. Wait, you type plant pot and nothing comes up? Pot. The problem is the website seems to pick up any word containing the letters in that order. So the first thing you get in the search is apothecary's work table because it has POT in it. A loam wheel pot. Oh, I never seen this. Oh, it's an Endeavor vendor. That's why. I think we're gonna have to make do with the one vase type that I have available to me, I think. What about bucket? There are quite a few buckets, to be fair. Razor Wind Banded Planter. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to be available. It's the horde version of what I just looked up. Okay. Circular woolen rug. Where does this come from? That's the vendor in Founders Point. Founders Point. I think the walls platforms, I think they all come from Founders Point, actually. So, we have a shopping list. And honestly, we have much more of a greenhouse attached to a kitchen area than I thought we would get finished today. So I think that's pretty good going. We have a work table waiting for some plant pots so we can actually make some more garden type things happen here. And we've managed to fix some sunlight coming into the actual greenhouse itself, which is quite sweet. You can barely see it, but that's okay. I am going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go shopping for the things that we need to like finish this section off. It won't be long. Okay. So we have a shopping list to get to, which for the most part just involves going to the vendor in Founders Point, and then if we want some plant pots, I think the best bet at the moment, for what I'm confident at least, is High Mountain. Now, which vendor? I'm not sure. Ooh. I was considering this as a planter box, which it like kind of is. It's technically a market stand, but I think having a table with individual buckets might be better. Sell anything that would be useful to this particular instance. Trellis. Can I buy multiple? Let's get 5. What you?
Your coin is always welcome.
Ooh, the basket. I didn't look up basket. I do actually have one. I'm gonna get 5. We need walls. One of those. I have none in storage. Okay, let's just get. I made back a load of money that I spent on decor by selling my own decor that I made through professions, which was pretty nice. I was making an assortment of things at first just to see what would sell. Turns out most things were selling, at least early on, because people wanted their housing inventory number to go up. But slowly but surely, certain things started dying out. So I had to try and filter out the things that weren't selling quite so well. But some things take a long time if you're going to farm all the materials yourself. And being herbalism and alchemy, that was a lot of herb picking, let me tell you. But something that was very popular and honestly might still be popular is the Valdraken, they call it. Uh, it's a vase accent. Maybe it's in nature actually. This, the Verdant Valdraken vase. I mean, this is beautiful. It's very ornate, but in terms of vases with flowers in it, I think we're quite limited, and this one was selling for 12k a pop. It costs a fair bit to make. Valdraken. Yeah, you need 28 pieces of dragonflight lumber, and then a bunch of other dragonflight crafting materials. But it's still selling for 11k, supposedly. So be down the line if we need to make back some more money, we'll go and pick some flowers and make some profession pieces. Oh, I don't have any of these. Oops. Yeah. Um, interior wall. That's fine. Get some more platforms. I don't think we need too many rounded ones. I guess I'll get 10. There are small platforms too. Wouldn't you just size a big one down in that case? Sturdy wall rack. You. Why do I not have these things? Another wicker basket. It's cute. Ooh. A wash basin? Lighting. Okay. So those guys are pretty nice to come to for decor. This could be nice. barrels. Maybe the color scheme is not quite there. But I'll stock up on a couple. Don't think there's going to be too much of the elven themed furniture in this build because the aesthetic isn't quite there. Reckon this person sells the rug that I need. Unless they don't. They sell like the silver moon type stuff. You're a die crafter. I haven't done my treasure hunt today. Who else do we have? Did I miss the rug? Look again.
May I be of service?
Don't think he has it. Oh, it's here. I'm gonna get quite a few of these. I think I'll get 30. That might be obnoxious. We'll see. Okay, so that's we've got all of our walls, we've got platforms, we've got windows. No, we don't have windows. Oh, windows? Yes. Goldshire window. Probably fine for now. I'd like quite a lot of windows, but the problem is I don't like the blue ray of light that that window gives you. So until we get the interior exterior rooms, I think I'm going to have to make my own fake outdoor spaces. I don't want it to be super dark. Okay, so we've got the rugs, we've got the walls, we've got some platforms, windows. All we have left,
Next one is on.
apart from maybe just using the basket, could go to High Mountain. But I'm going to try finishing that greenhouse space with the stuff that we've got now. High Mountain's quite a long way. Vases. Are they in my collection? So, well, we bought some baskets. I think this could be quite promising. It's a little bit weird to put plants in a woven basket, I would imagine, but listen, there's a lot of Warcraft. We do get 65. Scoot it back. Back corner. Now, what we're actually going to put in one of these, we might be running out of options. The grapes wasn't a bad shout. What was that called? This? Sturdy wine press? So I think we want this one to be really far forward. Something taller in the back. Let me get rid of the bottle. I don't know why I put that there. And I'm hoping maybe by sizing this up and lowering it down slightly. Can then make a little makeshift basket of grapes. It's cute. I don't love how it sits on the bench, but we're gonna be able to see very little of this, I think. What was the other thing? Barrel? Yeah, this color, I'm not sure. We could just use it as decorative. Put it in the corner where it can be forgotten about. I might do the Sims trick actually. You put two of the same object and make the one in the back slightly larger and the one in front of it smaller. People do that with trees in The Sims. I've never really understood why, but it's quite cute. Make this one like 90. And slightly different angle. Yeah. I feel like one or two of the vases and baskets and things can be empty, but I'm wondering if maybe we'd put some flowers in one. These roses are gorgeous. That's not a rose, is it? Although clipping. Make them smaller and we can just do a big bunch of tea. That's pretty. Is two enough? I feel like two might be enough. I don't know if I want to mix it with different colors. I feel like that might look a little bit overkill. Do some weeds. I don't mind that. Again, she's not really taking such great care of her garden right now, but that's all right. She's busy. Yeah. Just so there's like something in one of the baskets. The other one could be empty. Don't see a problem with that. Did we want to use different type of barrel? A Borealis barrel? It's not bad. It's got a closed top, but we can still do something with it. I don't want spiky. The Northshire barrel. Potentially. The Borealis one's cute. Now what does one put in or on this? Oh, do you know what would look adorable? Like a watering can, but I bet I don't have that. I have a tap, a water pump. maybe it's usable. That look weird? I feel like it might look weird. All of the water features are too big, I think. Got strangle kelp sack. That green is so garish. But maybe that's the answer. Take the water pump off and sink these down. Hmm. Looks kind of weird. Because we kind of need it big enough that there's some overspill. But we want to avoid clipping, and then also it kind of looks... It looks just like it doesn't go, right? Actually, it probably can work. It just needs a little bit of digging around. Oh, I can see it clipping. Let's make the barrel a bit bigger. Pull it forward. I'm not sure what that's meant to be, but it's actually not bad. You can definitely see some clipping. Oh, no. That might have fixed it. Okay. It's not perfect, but from afar, I think that looks fine. On closer inspection, I think the grapes actually come up further. Choose they have that metal rim on them. Can't come up any higher. Okay. And then what could go on this end? Accents. What would you put here? I haven't used my seedling. I guess the cutting, I'm almost tempted to put it on its own because the seed is kind of part of the whole thing. It is obnoxiously large. I kind of live for that. But I'm wondering if we could potentially even fit 2 more things here. I am going to shrink it down slightly. You like that? Make it even smaller. 65? Yeah, I think I like it as a feature because I got it from the Druid Order Hall, but think it needs to be a little bit smaller to create some dimension. Um, I'd love something that serves as a watering can, but I don't know what I could use. Don't think I have anything that's gonna work. No idea what that is. Have some boulders. I could also use my Baldraken vase. This doesn't feel like it goes in here. A book? A book could be cute, actually. And it might be the best thing I've got currently. Closed book or open book? Probably open, right? Kiln? Nope. Could have a tiny Dream Grove stone. No, let's go with the book. I think I liked this one. Kinda looks like a spell book, but that's okay. Maybe she's been reading up about the different plants that she wants to get. She's a herbalist after all. Maybe she's reading about this seedling that's erupting on her table. Okay, I think that's pretty adorable if you ask me. Might be really extra. What if we leaned it up against the window? Put in full. Pushing it this way. Rotating it upwards. And around. Elevating slightly. Wait, that looks so adorable. I have no idea if that's like floating. I think it is actually resting. Maybe not completely on one side. Bit way. Get some more. So cute. Yeah, we'll put the potion back in the back. It just fits really nicely. We flip them around. I feel like maybe this does belong so in like this gap. I think that's cute. Okay. Is there more we want to do? We bought some trellises, didn't we? We could definitely cover this wall a bit more. And we need to add the rest of the rugs onto the back wall. before I do that, we do the rugs first. Accents. Oh gosh, it's in a funky order. That's fine. Be back. I'm gonna have to dye these potentially, unless we do just use the wrong side. Uh, unless we do use the default blue, which I'm not opposed to. Let's flip this one. Wait, 270? 80? What's that light? Oh, it's probably from the sun thing. Wish there was a bit more definition on the outside, but I might be able to fix that down the line. I think if there's an easy way for us to make the walls on either side like greens so that we're not covering in more plants, but I'm going to need dye, I think. Don't know how this one would look. Oh, it's the same. Cenarian rug the same? It is. I mean, maybe it looks okay. You'd barely see it. It back, scale it up, although this is also blue. I kind of don't mind it because it looks like it has vines on it. Hmm. Maybe if we were to make that green, it would look okay. Unless it looks like that just goes to the outside, which I'm also fine with. This wall, I feel like, will need to be covered in plants just so that it doesn't look too indoor. But before I forget, structural walls and columns. S- Don't hate the log look, even though it's the wrong color. No. Let's use one. There's a gap I'd like to cover up. tree. Sure. Maybe I feel like it doesn't make sense that the banana and apples are here. I'm gonna put these. I feel like you'd bring them indoors, right? Got any lights out here? I mean, we have the sun, which works great. Adorable, actually. Fraction. What? Let's put this in the front, this in the back. Size it down. 75. Perhaps on a little angle. Sit her there. Flip this tiny bit. Yeah. Works for me. So we ended up, I wanted planter boxes and I kind of ended up with just 2 and then got carried away with other decor clutter items instead, but that's fine, no problem. Any lighting? Probably not. This really cute Pandaren style lantern, but it's where it would fit. Would fit. Oh, I didn't think about string lights. Oh, that's pretty adorable. They're like little mason jars. Yeah, I think we have to do these. Oh, this nightmare. Okay. It attaches on that wall. How far does it stretch? Does it go to the other wall? Oh my goodness, that's so hard to see. No, it doesn't. It misses. Okay. So bring it along and size it up. Connects there, and it connects there. Aww. I mean, it's looking very cluttered in here now. I feel like I need to start taking some things away. But it does look cute from the inside. Hey, Krabby, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I feel like one of these vines might need to go. I put that there. That does look infinitely better. Okay. Cool. All that's really left is this wall and a door. I'm not too worried about what goes on behind this on this wall because I think we're going to hide it. All good. I recently started playing again, playing Classic with 6 other friends of mine. Ah, nice. Classic is really good fun. Very slow, and I always found it quite cozy and nostalgic. And there's PC Classic coming again soon, right? Anniversary. That's fun. What are you playing? What race class combination? Relish. The different wood colors are really egregious. We can do one big one, right? I don't mind that too much. Massively centered, but leveling for TBC. I'm a Tauren Druid, tank wannabe. Oh, nice. Oh, I love Tauren. They're like my favorite horde race. Gosh, I imagine tanking as a bear in Classic is really slow. I would say it's slow now still. Um, what does one put on a trellis? Probably flowers. Could these work? These are beautiful. It's technically a tree, but if I shrink it down enough, maybe it works. This is also going to clip majorly, but I don't think we can put anything here, so it should be okay. Coming back from the forgotten dusty old WoW memories. The most painful thing, I have 14 hours of game time and I'm level 18. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, nowadays I play Classic for that experience though. And I guess most people would do the same. So if you're trying to get anywhere in a hurry in Classic, you're probably in for some disappointment, especially if you're coming from retail. But Classic has its own charm for sure and its own appeal, I would definitely say. Bring this one down. Bit better. Aw, pretty. Maybe it should be a little bit bare. Some other purple type flowers we could use just to fill in some gaps. Are they too big? They are quite large. Two of these coming out the top. What is this WoW housing thing? It's exactly that. It's WoW housing. It's like The Sims, but in World of Warcraft. And for the longest time, I've honestly kind of avoided it because it's quite overwhelming. So this is my first stream of doing anything housing related. I've just spent loads of time off stream collecting stuff for housing so that it feels like I'm a bit more equipped to actually furnish. But the whole process is definitely quite long if you want to get as into it as I do. Obviously, it's completely optional, and a lot of people probably won't ever really touch it. But for people that love building and the life sim games, so to speak, it's a nice addition for sure. So we've just started building. This is literally all we've got so far. I'm going cottage core theme, and I've started with honestly what would be considered a trickier part, which is building place indoors that looks like it's outdoors, but it's not. Because this is meant to be like a kitchen space eventually. And then this is a greenhouse. And I think honestly, it's probably done for now. I don't know if there's more we should add right now. We've got loads of plants and harvestable goods. We've got the fake sunlight with that ray of sunlight, which I actually like to have fix. That harsh line. Maybe if we just use some more ivy, maybe the small one. This one. Size this down. And I just want it. Let's rotate. Guess like this might work, and then raise it up. Or is it just that's annoying. It's just gonna clip through the plant. Interesting, but maybe it softens it a little bit and you don't notice it too much. Gosh, this is fiddly. Maybe like that? Does that draw more attention to it, or does that make it go away? It's not that bad. I feel like I can see it so clearly because I built it and I'm a perfectionist, but I don't think that's possible to most people actually. Okay. Well, it's a very cluttered, very abundant greenhouse, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. Oh, thanks, Krabby. All in all, I always remember you with the stunning transmogs you won raids. Ah, thank you so much. You flatter me. So I was spending so long fixing transmogs because back in the day you wouldn't find me on the DPS meters, so I just had to get some kind of thrill. All that's left is a door. This is still irking me. I had the idea of using a trellis. This might not work. Or it definitely will. We need to rotate it like this out. I would really like to still be able to go in. But how achievable is that going to be? Can I fit through here? Oh, I can. It doesn't really make a huge amount of sense because there's holes in the door. But that's pretty cute. Completely wrong color of wood, but I think that's nicer than having physical door that opens and closes. I don't love the metal parts at the bottom. But luckily, we can hide them almost entirely. It's pretty cute. I would even say, is there something tiny I can use? Oh my god, watch this. An idea. Although I don't think we've got anything in the correct wood color. I'm going to try this. Please, 270. You best believe we're making a custom door handle. Oh gosh, on an angle, this is so hard to do. Come on. Please don't be coming out the other side. It's not. That's so cute. It's such a tiny detail, but my brain needed that real bad. Do we want to put one on the other side? That's too much. Surely that's too much. Right? Got to think about my budget here. I mean, maybe I don't. How big is this one? This one is 30%. Gotta go. Wish you a pleasant stream. Very much fun and luck with the housing thingy. Thank you. Hope you continue having fun in Classic as well. Take care, Krabby. Oh my god, please. Let's flip it. This, more or less. Oh dear. This sort of thing just brings me so much joy. I will never look at that ever again, but it's there, and I know it's there. And that's realism, Diva. Oh no. Ah, adorable. That's not bad, you know. For not even really comparing the two sides. One is definitely higher than the other. But that's actually really difficult to get equal. There we go. Okay. That's definitely something to go off. Would I even say that, go as far as to say that this room is done? I think so. Sadly, you can't walk around because the sun well thing that's coming through the window is blocking the way. But that's fine, you just look at it. And to be fair, I had originally decorated this to try and do it with the view of looking from the inside. Yeah. We could try and do a kitchen. I definitely feel like I'm not going to have the furniture for that. I'm thinking a little L-shaped counter situation here, because it would be cute to have somewhere that looks out into the greenhouse. I think this is inevitably going to have another room attached to it, which I might do now just for the visual. I might just add a small square room. Goodness gracious me, these rooms are not small. But then the tiny one is too tiny. Okay, I'll just add a tiny one for now. so that we kind of know that this needs to be somewhat clear for moving through the house. One thing about WoW houses so far, they are so dark. Maybe we can put some lamps around. What kind of lights would we use in this, in a cottage? Lots of them just kind of don't emit much light. And a lot of them are super aggressive looking. Maybe candles. I feel like the candles, the types of candles that we've got so far aren't quite the right vibe. It almost gives castle, or I get like a vampiric vibe, or just super elegant. Like gold doesn't really fit in this build. Although, I just thought what could go in this corner? A corner fireplace. That's pretty adorable. What options do we have? A very basic kind of Stormwind one, a basic Orgrimmar one, a Silvermoon one. I have a Nightborn one, which is really nice, but again, we have a Tide Sage one. That's terrifying, but I do like the Old Salt one. Oh, does it need to go on a wall? No, it doesn't. Yeah. It's going to take doing 1 second. Push it back. Oh, does it need to go like that? Raise it. Doesn't even really need to rotate that much, does it? Wanted to travel form again. Why can I do that indoors? I just thought about that. That's really nice. It kind of means there's no room to put anything else. You can't sit here or anything, but what would you put by a fireplace? I have so many furniture pieces that I'm just never going to use. Maybe we could put some cushions. I spent so long getting nice cushions from Suramar. They cost so much. You have to farm ancient mana. I ended up farming about 2,000 just to get some cushions. I don't think she'd have a bear rug, but maybe a rug of some kind might be cute. Be a small patterned rug. Ooh, be pretty small is the only thing. So that it fits in this tiny space and doesn't clip into the fireplace. Oh, it's also not centered. Smaller. Just add something. It's floating though. Be like that. Better. What cushions could we use? We've got colors of blue and red and orange. And to be fair, we have availability of all of those things. This one. Why is it so big? Can you sit on these? No. Doesn't seem practical. Seems kind of dangerous, but okay, this is wow. I'm even considering leaning one up against the fireplace to create a bit more dimension. Yeah. Maybe I should have put the tasseled one on the ground because now the tassels are clipping. Let me move you out the way. Try again. Let's grab this. I think this is going to be better, isn't it? Oh, that looks much better. Thing like this. And then, ooh, this one's beautiful. I'm thinking asymmetry. Let's maybe put just one on this side as opposed to two. We put a big one. I like the tasseled ones laying down. Let's scale this one up a little bit. Then rotate it around. I mean, it's not what I thought this corner was going to become, but it is quite sweet. And we can always change it if we have a different idea. Maybe we pop a book down here if we've got one. I must have loads of books. Yeah, we do. Put the same one that's in the greenhouse. It's open, just make it smaller. Quite substantially smaller. Again, I'm kind of obsessed with leaning things. Because I'm thinking, what if we put it over here? No, do you know what? Let's maybe just sit it on the cushion. It doesn't need to be centered, but in my brain it does. Or do we lean it? Because now it looks a bit weird, actually. That actually looks pretty adorable. It doesn't really make sense physics-wise. Can I fix that? Slash, is it noticeable? Probably can fix it, right? Just an axis thing. Wrong axis. Like that. Perfect. Something we... Ooh. Gosh, we have an eclectic mixture of things to go on walls. What on earth? We have beautiful paintings, some nice array of curtains, and then a shield with axes, a Zandalari skull mask, a Sylvanas banner, and some fishing rope. Okay, not quite the vibe. Maybe what's gonna tie these colors in? Blue, purple, red. I don't love this, but maybe. Gosh. See, this is why I use keybinds. Look at that mess. Ties down. And like the gold. The gold doesn't really make any sense. No, that doesn't work. Hmm. Shell? This could work in the right swatch. Quite pretty. But then what on earth do you put in there? have to be tiny things. Not really sure what this bottle's meant to be. It's got like a flame in it. Also, there's so many wall hanging things that weren't listed. What do you mean? Oh. We have more options than I originally thought. Does this change anything? Probably not. Ooh, this is hard. Unless we do use lighting, we could just put candles. I've never quite understood this particular candle. I think it's meant to go on a table. Putting it on a wall looks a bit strange. Don't think I want lore characters hanging as portraits in my home. I mean, could this work? It's a little bit too rustic. Like the wrong type of rustic. It's like ritualistic. But it's got red in it. Oh, and it drapes. That's really cute. Maybe it's not bad. Hmm. There's no world where I use this, is there? Not really. Um, a map? No. There's a plushie. That doesn't really fit, I'm afraid, but it's very adorable. Mm, there's a kite. There's a couple kites from like Tauren high mountain sort of stuff. Still not quite what I'm looking for. This a little elixir bottle. Shipment. Oh, these tiny lamps are adorable, to be fair. Might have to throw some of these around. I bought loads because I thought, yeah, we're going to be using those, I'm sure. Do I do the Sims thing again? Size one up. Grab another one basically right next to it. Wait, did I? I thought I bought loads. Is this the only one I've got? Oh, I must be thinking of other things. I have these that I have multiples of. Oh no. Borealis bottle lamp. I'm assuming they come from the Quartermaster in Borealis. Oh, they're crafted. Did I make that? I did, didn't I? No, I couldn't have. I don't have Battle for Azeroth Alchemy. Weird. I must have bought it on the auction house. Oh, well, love that either way. And should probably up my alchemy in older expansions so I can actually make stuff like that. Um, can't believe I'm so stuck on what to put on a tiny wall. Oh, to be fair, you can't go wrong with, like, you put this one here. I'm considering making a tiny vase of flowers with this basket. How small can this go? Look. See, this would be cute. I'm just thinking, what do I have available to me? Flowers. We just do like really simple little buttercup. They're poppies. They don't look like poppies to me. We've already used the roses outside. Maybe these are quite cute actually. The stems are super long though. Look how tiny they are. I don't think they're gonna fit. The angle on them is very strange. Yeah, I think maybe these, but I'm just cautious about the big weeds. Also, there's nothing yellow. Ooh, this is tough. Or we could just do like a tiny bush. Size a bush down into a planter. You think this would size down enough? No. Okay. This definitely won't, right? Um, maybe that's actually adorable. Especially if we like lower it enough so that it's fully sunk into the vase. Fire looks nice. Can you melt away all my snow? Hello, Jacob. Are you getting snowed in? That's kind of pretty. I mean, there isn't actually purple here. We have red and blue, which makes purple. Oh, that does look adorable. I'm going to get rid of this banner. About 15 to 20 centimeters, not too bad. Sounds like a lot to at least my British brain, but we're not used to much snow over here. It's tried its best to snow so far this week. And we've had a couple flurries that lasted about 10 minutes, but very little actual snow remaining on the ground. Maybe nothing goes on the wall right now. Maybe that's fine. If there isn't a nice lamp, they're all just kind of egregious. That's beautiful though. I didn't realize I had this. It doesn't really fit, but it is nice. Like, why are they so huge? It's all wood and tusks and metal. And then there's Night Elf, which is very cute, but not really the vibe. There's Zandalari. There's Valdrakken lighting. Maybe we have to wait until we get some nicer lights. Love the fireplace. Thank you, Miss Aphrodite. How are you doing? Have a date with beading hair? Nice. You'll have to keep us posted on the progress. Can you scale it down? What were we looking at? The lights? Oh, this one, probably. Yeah, I was considering scaling it down. I think my issue is the the material, right? Like it looks like it's made of metal, whereas everything else here is mostly wood. I mean, there's metal on the fireplace, so maybe it's fine. And it kind of has a slight purple tinge to it. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe it works. I mean, scaling it down definitely helps. We can keep it there for now. See? I only got one. I got one of everything. This is because I was trying to level my house level as much as possible without actually thinking, oh, I might like to use loads of those when I furnish. So I got one of each thing, and now we're going to have to go out and get multiples of whatever we want multiples of. Okay, well, it gives us a little corner that's warmer at least. Do we want to leave it open? Because I have also just had a thought that we could put a pillar on this corner. Oh gosh, that's so big. Can't scale them down. I was wondering about making this into a little curtained off section. I need to learn to just type the word of the thing I'm looking for because manually searching is just unnecessary. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't have the dye colors to make it the color scheme I would like. But maybe this is a nice way to break up the section a little bit. Kind of makes it feel maybe a little bit more private, although now I've scaled it down. Gap. Don't worry about the colors. That just has to be the case right now until I log on to my shaman and get some dye. Maybe this is nice. I don't know. Let's try. This one is 86 down to the same. They should fit. The gap is the same. What did I say? 86. Yeah. I left a little gap at the top. I was considering putting like a beam there. Put an update in the art channel in the usual place. Thank you, Jake. Maybe it's cute. Oh my goodness. I'm not sold. And I think I need to scale it up further. 90. This one, same. Oof, trying to get these level is difficult. It's not too bad, is it? Oh, it looks off because this side already has a beam from the ceiling. So maybe I just add a beam on one side? Or if that would look strange. Just, I kind of want to close this gap a little bit if I can. And I don't know whether to use two and like close the gap entirely. Like maybe this looks better. I think it actually might. Don't think I can scale it up because it's going to end up clipping into other things. Oh, it's clipping into itself now. I'm just going with the flow at this point. I knew I wanted to make a greenhouse today, which we've done. But everything else was just it's anybody's game. I think that looks good. Although, have I run out of these platforms? I thought I bought some. Oh, I bought pillars. Damn. It's irritating. Okay. Well, once we have some more pillars, we can fill in this gap. Looks good from the inside. It would be really cute if one of these sides could be like off. I guess I'd have to use this type of curtain. Just don't know if this pillar is really obnoxious. Like it's so large. I don't want to use another type. There are rounded ones. They're all the same size, more or less. Could use anything else. I'll tell you what, we have a stack of books, don't we? Yeah, we've got all of these from the renowned vendor in Donegal. Should line some books up. This is not the vibe, is it? Is it? Maybe it is. Because we have the Tide Sage fireplace, the wood is a very similar color. So now I'm interested. It's too big. 80. Also, yeah, if you hold shift with your keybind, can you do it while scrolling? Yeah. Either with scrolling or with your keybind, holding shift scales the item up or down in multiples of 10. It's quite handy. Let's try 80. If this is going to become a reading nook, then lots of books are essential. And actually, adorable over here. You can actually see it. Ah, that's cute. I feel like in that back corner you can't really see it. You can't really see the light anymore. Can I get rid of it? We'll find another light to put there, I think. I was looking at the line of books. Yes. This is going to be good. The camera angles are going to be dreadful to watch. I'm very sorry. I've decided to make a cozy corner, which is all well and good, but the camera angles just not great. We maybe line the top of the fireplace with some books. They are gonna clip, and also I didn't think about the fact that they're not full. Platform to put on top of it. Would this one work? I'd love to put a row of books. I mean, maybe just on one end? Or do we size down a bookcase and use that on top? This is another like Tide Sage looking piece, but I think wait. No, it looks bad. Okay. That doesn't work. We have to make our own. I was considering using a pre-existing bookcase and just flipping it backwards so that it almost looks like it's built in, but okay, I think this will work. We just need to make the books smaller. 70. Gosh, oh gosh. I lost them. I have to start again. Size down. Oops. Size down. Yeah, I think this will be okay. The angle's going to be a bit strange. What I asked you to do. Still not what I asked you to do. Hit them this way. It's not bad. They are balancing on their life depends on it, and these books on the end are definitely very short, but hopefully you wouldn't notice that. And maybe, is there a shorter stack of books? No, we do have a pile of them. That might work, maybe, or they go here. Like that, maybe? Anything else we can put up? Get a bit more interesting. There's a scroll. Is that weird? Maybe. Unless we do my favorite trick of leaning it up against the fireplace. Up at the top. I'm willing to try. This way. Gosh, I'm not very good at rotating things. And it seems to select the wrong axis for me a lot of the time. I don't know if that happens to anyone else. I mean, I actually don't hate this. It does need to be smaller. Oh, it's ever so slightly. Still clipping. I do like it, but I feel like a book would look better. There's one book. You wouldn't stand one book up on its own, would you? Guess we can stack. Just don't want it to look too symmetrical, but I think this one's bigger. Yeah, it is. Found our own symmetry. It looks a little bit weird, in my opinion, but float. Rotate them even more, and they start defying gravity. But listen, those books are about to fall off. I even want to go one extra step and go for some realism. Can I put a book stop, like a bookend? I bet I've got something I can use as a bookend. Ornamental. Could use a cushion, potentially, like a rolled up cushion. How big are these things? Oh, you're kidding. And I've got two. Stop. That is so adorable. Look, custom custom bookends. They're Zandalari and they don't really fit at all. But I am a troll. So maybe this is going to be adorable. Please work. Oh my god. Like, then I have a different idol. I knew these Zandalar Bizarre Law quest lines would be worth doing. How big are we talking? 70. Oops. So cute. Need to move things along a little bit. Isn't that nice? And then we're actually getting some realism because the books aren't going to fall off. They've got bookends. Adorable. They're not too anti the color scheme, to be fair, and I wonder if they're customizable. No, that's the fireplace. Can't select anything else other than the fireplace. That's fine. That is so cute. Okay, well we have a reading nook of some kind. It is very higgledy-piggledy and none of the colors really go right now, but that's okay. More lights. What would go here? I'd love a candle, but I just feel like quite the vibe. A candle, lantern. rotation and a slight little flip. Pretty cute. Okay, so far we have a reading nook of some kind with a fireplace and some cushions. Currently sectioned off just with some curtains. Whether we keep it this way or whether we close it off, we shall see. We have this entryway where I haven't actually put anything in this storage area yet, but I think it's going to remain pretty plain. Also, hello. I didn't see this huge gap. Fix this by I just put it in the wrong place. I did. Do it like that. Okay. We're probably just going to put barrels and shelves and maybe a stool in here, and it's going to be pretty bare bones because it's going to be a storage cupboard, so I'm not too worried about decking that out. I think we need to get some dyes so that we can actually start making some color schemes come together. Upon second look, this side looks a bit strange. There's a big gap here with this curtain. I can't really fix it right now. But that's fine. We've got the reading nook. We've got a place for a pantry. It's just got some pieces that I've found that would work well in here. I haven't actually done it yet. And then we have a kitchen to be. And the pièce de résistance, a greenhouse, which you can still access through a trellis door. And it's got just hella plants. Got a seedling, a druidic seedling straight from the Emerald Dream. And a book on, I don't know, how to go about taking care of it. Some barrels of produce, a herbalist table, and then an apple tree that's shrunk all the way down, tiny apples, and a blueberry bush. Loads of like vines hanging from the ceiling with some lanterns. It's cute. I'm stuck in my... I think that's pretty good going for now. It would be good to get a kitchen coming together so that there's not a big divide between the two rooms that we've actually made. And we will look into getting some dyes working so that color coordinate a bit better. Look up on some platforms. Well, I think for now, I'm going to wrap up stream today. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you for being patient with me while I figure out all things housing, because there is a lot to it, and I know when I get in a mindset of I have a vision of what I want to execute, the flow state that I reach in terms of just putting things out and having idea after idea after idea, and then ultimately getting sidetracked by something else can be distracting. So thank you for your patience. I'm going to be back for another stream on Friday at 1 p.m. GMT, the same time as today's stream. I hope you guys can catch me then, but for now, I wish you a fabulous rest of your Wednesday. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye!